I follow a lot of people in San Francisco because I worked out there for 6 years.
Yeah, right.
And when you first suggested Mac Jones over there,
Yeah.
they almost had a meltdown, like a utter meltdown over the idea that Mac Jones somehow is the number 3 player in this NFL draft. And Pill Dragon sums it up here. He goes, why is Mac Jones at 3 the right pick? At number 3, don't you want a guy who has the potential to be a superstar over the safe pick? Seems like Justin Fields has all the traits to become a superstar with the right situation. San Francisco is the perfect situation to maximize his talent. They're all over you because, and this is, I feel like a lot of people have this opinion. Justin Fields could be special, right, where Mac Jones is just like, you know what you're going to get.
Right. Well, okay. So I think there's a lot to this. The first thing is, yes, Fields has some really special attributes. There's no doubt about it. He could be elite. He could be a bust in my eyes, for sure. He could definitely be a bust. Like, there's no doubt about it. So you don't pick that guy at number 3, all right? There's that issues. Listen, I understand, and a lot of what he could bring to the table, if it all works right, it could be really, really special. We know he's got a strong arm, and at the very least, we know he's a really, really special athlete. And even if on a rookie year, if you got him there, you could kind of rely on the run game and creative stuff, like do all of that, right? But Mac Jones, first off, you're disrespecting his talent, which is I don't understand. Like, it's not even close between him and Tua, but everyone was fine with Tua being the number 1 pick last year. And I would just tell you, it's disgraceful. It's Mac Jones' film is so much better than Tua, but that's where I don't understand it. So we just can't, and this goes back to the whole thing of, like, I guess it's the way he looks. I don't understand. It's the hardest schedule in the history of college football. Just dominates everybody. The statistics are the best in the history of football. I mean, the throws into tight windows, anything, it's all good. The way he works the pocket, everything like that. Fields is really good, there's no doubt. But there is some games of really average. And you go, wait, I don't know. And I don't think we're going to be able to run the ball with the quarterback all the time in every game against every team.
We saw that with Cam Newton, right?
We see it with Lamar Jackson. We went into the year this year. Can they win a playoff game if they can't run the ball? Are they going to be able to win a playoff game? I mean, it's the best player in football we're talking about that way. I mean, he was the MVP 2 years ago. So so there's something to that. And then, like, I guess the other part of this is I hear this too with, like, people going, well, see, what you're saying with them taking Mac Jones is he needs the Shanahan system to help him, and Fields doesn't. Like, that is such a crazy thought. I've seen people tweet that, and I've heard people say it on TV. It's like, you're admitting he needs the system help, and Fields does. Who said that? What? Because you said that? That's true? How about maybe Fields can't take advantage of all the pass game schemes that Mac Jones could in the Shanahan offense? Maybe you got to look at it that way too. Don't just make one point to go, okay, like, if you're going to be a good evaluator, you got to make the point to both sides. That's how you're going to come up to the best evaluation. You can't make one point and go, that made me feel good about my point. I'm good. I don't want to look at the other side of this conversation now. Yeah. I'm good. Now, this is a problem in our country. I've been told what I want to hear. Let me walk away.
I've made up my mind.
You, everybody else, you're wrong.
Well, we don't like to reevaluate. We like to get stuff done and then move on to the next thing.
Well, so you have to look at it from that aspect too. There was another part of that question. Can you read it one more time just so I can go back to it?
Seems like the perfect fit, has all the traits to become a superstar in the right position. And a lot of people, like Jax Lee 101, has compared, sees people comparing Justin Fields to a player like Deshaun Watson on the field and say that he has similar talent. And Kyle said in the past, we'd love to have a player that can just make stuff happen and improvise.
I know, but see, all right, so it's great. You're right. He said that about Josh Allen this year and all that type of stuff. I know. This is not Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's throwing and ability to, like, read coverages and go to the right place with the football and all that was at a much higher level than Justin Fields. A much higher level. The only question there was about Deshaun Watson coming out in the draft was, I wish he would just throw a few more rifles. Clemson, they were open so much and the game was easy that he threw kind of like his 85% throw out there all the time. And you're kind of like, can he squeeze it into tight windows?
Yeah.
And so that was the evaluation with him, where you had to go through certain games and go, wait, there's a 20-yard out. That's a rifle. Okay, he can do it. Okay, wait, here's a 20-yard in comes tight. Okay, he can do it. All right. I wasn't sure. You don't get to see it a whole lot. All those type of things. So to compare those two, to me, is not fair. That is not. There's more issues in Fields' game. He might be a better actual physical running specimen in that way, but the throwing aspect and playing the position is clean is not on Deshaun Watson's level.
Pete brings up a good point about upside, and you always want the upside, right? You want the highest ceiling.
Right.
And it's interesting, people think like Fields, what you can do with him on the field has the higher ceiling. And who knows? I mean, if he can get his throwing in order and fix some of those things,
sure.
I mean, maybe that is the case. But it is interesting, like Mac Jones, and they always talk about his body. I mean, isn't that the definition of a moldable? Like, doesn't it seem possible that Mac Jones, whatever you don't like about his body now, could change?
Could morph, right? Like Tom Brady did? Or
Exactly.
Like, I know
right? Like, could he not get in the weight room in a different way, or with NFL trainers become a different type of body? Because he honestly is not slow, right? He ran the 40 under 5, well under 5 seconds.
He ran 4.8, low 4.8, I believe. Yeah. I mean, so
that seems like upside to me. You got a dad bod out there that's still crushing it.
Well, yeah, I know. Listen, it's an awkward body. And he doesn't wear his clothes cool. That's the other aspect of it too. He's like kind of like Johnny 1968 quarterback with the way he wears his uniform and everything that way. And I really think that's a big part of like why people can't get behind this. And they're losing the eye of what is actually there on film.
Well, yes.
So, yes, he doesn't have the elite. I said this last week to Paul. He doesn't have the elite physical traits where you're going to go to a certain workout and just go, oh, my gosh, this is amazing. No. Holy cow. But you're going to go, wow, he's got good feet. Whoa, he's always in perfect position. Wow, every ball's right underneath the guy's chin. Whoa, it's a perfect spiral. Oh, great touch. Oh, he dropped his arm just a little there and threw a 12-yard perfect out route. It's going to be all of that stuff that people look at, and then you watch the film and how he plays the position to why he's elite. It's not going to be about pure, raw, explosive arm like Zach Wilson or pure, raw, just incredible Adonis athlete like Justin Fields. No, it's not going to be the same way with Mac Jones.
And he, much like Trevor Lawrence, was anchored to his preseason ranking of being a generational talent, and people are having a hard time getting away from it.
It's the same thing. He was the number one recruit.
Yeah,
all those
Mac
things.
Jones is anchored to being, just a guy, kind of.
I know.
It's like he impressed people this year, and they moved him up the rankings, but it's like you can't move him up but so high and not feel like you're a total idiot a month ago by not even having
It's
him in the
how
top
it translates
20.
to the NFL game. It's how it translates to that. Justin Fields, he translates to the NFL game, but you're going to have to play a certain way with him. Mac Jones can play the position from any offense other than Lamar Jackson and do everything you want and get in and out of huddles and checks plays, let alone is going to make the right read and make one great throw after another. And that's the value in what people are seeing in Mac Jones.
Last thing, and then we're going to go to our offensive line rankings.
Yeah.
Colin Kindgren says, people say Justin Fields doesn't go through progressions well. So what do you say about PFF's grading system? They have him as the best quarterback on throws past his first read. So if you're watching on YouTube, here's the tweet. It's up there. PFF grade on throws past their first read since 2019. They got Fields 1. They got Zach Wilson 2. They got Trey Lance 3. And then they got ... Trevor Lawrence is 7. Mac Jones is 8.
There's too much gray area in these kind of things right here. There's too many things I can bring up to just go, I mean, first off, I don't know. Do they always know what the second read is? I don't know if they do. Second thing is, like, if it's just a 1 or a 2 read play, okay, whoop-de-doo. Trey Lance, I can look up there. A lot of the plays are play action. He looks deep to one guy, and if that guy's not open, he throws to a hitch route here. That, to me, is not like, oh, my gosh, this is high-level reading of the defense, right? So there's a lot that goes into that. I know Justin Fields is going to be able to process the information and do all those things. It's just one of those things, again, too, where, no, it does not pop off. There's too many negative plays like that, within it. And then What I want to do is, like, how many times was the second read open and he didn't throw it, or he ran, or did those type of things? See, there's too many things that you could question about just a blanket number statement like that. And that's where, again, PFF has great value, and I listen to it and always take it into account, but it's not the end-all, be-all there. And there is too many plays. There's plays where I look at and go, oh, he got to the second read and threw the ball, and that was a bad decision. He completed it, but it was bad. It's going to get picked off in the NFL. That was not a good decision, even though he might have thrown a touchdown.
Or he shouldn't have come off the first read so fast.
First read. So there's so many things that can go into that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and Pete brings up the fact that you might have a scrambling quarterback that can get out of the pocket, go to a second or third read, and maybe that's not going to be available to them in the NFL.
Well, exactly. There's no, and that, yes, feeds into that too. Oh, the first guy's not there. Let me run and do that. Oh, now I found the second guy. Oh, great. Look, he found the second guy. Well, not within the way we're talking about it. Yeah. We're talking about going through it in the pocket and making the decisions that way.
All good points. We had to throw some haters at you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good comment. Listen, I don't know. You know, Justin Fields, I like I've said from the start, I like a lot between him and Trey Lance. I know everyone thinks I'm trying to be here. I love Kellen Mond. I still go, he's a first-round quarterback. You're never going to hear me back off of that. It's one elite throw, great decision, elite arm power after another. It's just one great one after another. You know, but he doesn't have the hype, so he's just not going to get there. He's going to end up going to the top of the second or something like that. These other guys, they have a lot of things I love. They just have some questions as far as what I see on film that I just can't 100% get behind it and just go, they're the man, they're awesome, like I have with Mahomes or Josh Allen or Zach Wilson. And again, I'm not trying to be a hater on them. I hope they prove me wrong, and I'll be the first one to say they did prove me wrong when they do.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.